It's time for Community Corner. This is where we highlight people in and of the community giving back. We have a very special guest today. I happened to meet this dude like on a whim. He was on a tour here in the building. You came by and we started talking, chopping it up, and a few people, even La Molly, was like, I thought they knew each other. But we didn't know each other. We just met. His name is Prince Dykes. He is an accomplished finance expert, author, and a whole lot more. He's going to give you details. Retired Navy chief. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Prince Dykes. Welcome to 1047.
I have finally made it to the drop. Can you believe that?
Let's go.
Can y'all believe that? I want to see all these people who behind the cameras and stuff like that. I finally done made it on the drop. Y'all tried to sleep on me for a long time.
We not sleeping no more.
I was in my basement waiting on y'all.
No,
I was like, look at this.
In the basement?
I was in my basement
Prince
grinding
Dykes.
out.
Okay. Now,
You
but
know what
now
I'm
you're
saying?
here. Now, and there's no more excuses. Now, I want to see this everywhere. Was this video that our team is shooting? Everywhere.
Are you going to see it everywhere?
Okay, that's what
I'm
I want to
gonna
hear.
let them know now.
Prince Dykes, okay, give him a little bit of background about who you are, sir, because I also happen to, before I met you, I saw you at a Nuggets game. They were honoring you that night.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
See, I didn't know you was at that game until I came up to the station.
That's
you know?
right,
I had
yeah.
to see. I told people I'm coming.
Yeah.
Whether they know it or not. You know, they can't sleep on me for so long.
That's
So
right.
I got to give a shout out to the Connect graffiti. He got on me. He's like, hey,
He was
Prince,
like, you
man,
better
come
get
up
on.
here.
Shout out graffiti.
So,
What's
but
up?
yeah, my name is Prince Dykes. I'm from a small town in Georgia, Waynesboro, Georgia, to be exact. You know, I did 20 years in the Navy, as you stated. Left home at 18 years old. Went out to the Navy, and this was my last stop in Denver. So how I got onto this path was I started on submarines as a logistics specialist, and I was a scuba diver as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was a scuba diver, and I was on submarines in the Navy. And my path into finance, because I was a logistics guy. So while I was in, I earned my associate's degree, bachelor's degree, my MBA, all my different licenses. And when I started to learn these things, I started to say, man, why nobody taught me this when I was a child? You know, I learned all this other worthless stuff. Everything past seventh grade was a blur. I don't know about y'all. I don't know. And I thought it was because I was from a small town. I was like, man, they didn't teach us nothing down there.
Yeah.
They didn't teach us nothing about investing, credit, insurance. But I couldn't realize that everybody I was serving with, they was the exact same way as me, right? So once I did all of that and I met, once I started to learn these things, I started with my son, who's now 13 years old. But back then, he probably was maybe 3 years old. He was sitting on my lap. His name is Wesley. So he used to bring home all these books that wasn't really about life. They was worthless.
Oh, wow.
You know, they was just like the cat jumped over the hat and the dog. I'm like, dude, man, life is real out here. In
It's
15
different.
years, you need to be talking about investing. You need to be talking about credit. You need to be talking about insurance. So I took the approach of, instead of pointing at the system saying, what are you doing? Took it upon myself and did it myself. Wrote my first book. Nobody wanted to publish it, but I did that. I took it to Shark Tank.
Really?
I did my first book. I took it to Shark Tank. I became a finalist on Shark Tank. They declined me. You know, they declined me for Shark Tank back in 16. But on that path, I met Famous Amos. He was on the show twice. So Famous Amos said, man, I love what you're doing. Even though they didn't pick you up for Shark Tank, anything I can do to help you.
Wow.
He helped me launch my second book. You know, so he helped me launch my second book in Hawaii. Then when I came to Denver, I ran across Terrell Davis when I was writing my third book. He was like, dude, I love what you're doing. Make me a character in your book. That's when the third book came along. Then I decided, hey, you know what? Let's turn this into a book club and turn kids into first-time shareholders of stock. So it's you know, from everybody, you know, it's a crazy story if I went through everything, all of the good stuff like that. But it's been a pretty good move, I would say.
Yeah, and now you're on a tour, if you will, like talking about these books and
Yes, sir.
giving everybody information now. So let's touch on this because we'll get back to the books and also an event that's coming up. But financial literacy for children, talk about the importance of that and why it's important for you. As you mentioned, you said your son was bringing home books that was like cat jumped over the hat, and you're like, let's give them more than that.
And we know every group of kindergartners that's walking in today, they're going to need a house, they're going to need a car, but we don't do nothing about it. We just say, I don't know, man, figure it out.
Yeah.
I figured it out, you go figure it out. But in America, what we're known for is capitalism. That's like if you met somebody from Italy or France that didn't know anything about wine, Or somebody from Mexico that's like, tequila, I don't know what tequila is.
Right.
You'll be like, dude, how do you not know what tequila is, right? But here in America, we're known for capitalism. So how can you grow up here? Everybody waits until you turn 18. Then here come the scholarships. Here come the student loans. Here come the grants, which are great. But why not do that for a kindergartner? We know in my 20-year career, I did 20 years from 2003 to 2023. The S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in America.
Right.
Guess what their rate of return was in my 20-year career? Just take a wild guess.
Like percentage-wise?
Yeah, what rate of return you think this the S&P 500? Take a guess.
40%? I don't know.
40%? What do you think, Lamar?
I have no idea.
So
I
that's
don't
why we
even know
need
what these
financial
words
literacy.
mean.
Right? 400%.
400%.
The S&P 500. And now you got to think about it, from 2003 to 2008, we had the 2003 to 2023, we had the 2008 real estate crash.
Yes, that was
We had
huge.
the pandemic. We thought the world was coming to an end.
Yeah.
We was in Iraq. We was in Afghanistan. We went through Democratic, Republican presidents from Bush to Obama to Trump to Biden. And with all of that, the S&P 500 averaged 20% over my 20-year career, right? And at the time when I went into the military, they offered this to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what they was talking about. They was like, hey, do you want to get large cap C fund? Man, what are you talking about?
Right.
But that's egregious to grow up in this country. But guess what? If I named all the top 500 companies, you know what they all are. If I said, hey, what is Tesla? What is Uber? You'd be like, oh,
True.
yeah, Facebook. You use them every day.
Yeah.
Right? But why don't we invest in for kids, right, for that? So that's what we do even on this, on our next event. I got an event on Wednesday where we're going to be giving out books and stocks to kids, because my ultimate goal is for every kid that walking in kindergarten, they should have an investment account.
I love that.
That's great. And I think it's so important, for communities of color, marginalized people, like we're not taught how to do these things. And then we just kind of like do our taxes and hope for the best, hope we did it right. And that can really end up hurting us because we don't have that foundation.
True.
So to give it to our kids, to teach them from a young age, so when they do decide if they want to take out loans, they know what all these terms and percentages and all that means.
Yeah, think about it, right? Look at, if I came into say, La Molly, you know what, La Molly, I'm country, so I mispronounce stuff all the time.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Y'all excuse me.
No, you're
so if I came
good.
to La Molly, you know what, man? I had my truck outside, and you won't believe this. It ran out of oil and my engine seized. What would you think, La Molly?
Go to a mechanic.
You would tell me to go to a mechanic, right? But when you had a question, how did your truck run out of oil?
Oh, yeah.
Now, what if I told you, La Molly, well, I didn't know I had to put oil in my truck.
Yeah, why are you driving a truck?
Right.
Hey, nobody taught me to put oil in it,
Got you.
right?
Yeah.
So I didn't put oil in it. So the industry is geared around repair. We're going to repair this. We're going to repair this. We're going to fix that engine. But nobody asked the question, how did this grown man is driving a truck and didn't know to put oil
Didn't know
in
to
it?
put
Yeah.
oil in. Yeah.
Isn't that what's going on in the financial industry?
Yep.
Yeah.
The financial industry is the only industry where you have to educate somebody before they even can buy a product. See, nobody have to tell you, hey, SugaBear, I'm a barber, and this is why you should get a haircut. You already know why you need a haircut.
You never get a haircut.
Well, not SugaBear.
Well, because I'm bald headed, yeah.
He's a
And my little beard I'm trying to grow in. But I understand your point.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know, you don't know. So when
So this is what it does. People come to me, they're like, Prince, adults don't even understand insurance. How you going to write something for children? Terrell looked at me like I had 3 eyes. He said, what you going to do? I said, I'm writing a children's book on insurance. Like, insurance? I said, yeah, I don't do what is popular. I do what's important.
there we go.
Right? So I said, hey, I don't expect the kid to walk in there and be like, insurance, my favorite.
let's
go. Oh my God. I can't wait to crack this open.
Right.
Adults I don't even do that.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, it doesn't matter where they go in life, whether they are with the Denver Nuggets, whether they're with football, basketball, whoever it is, right? They will need to know about real estate. They will need to know about investing. They will need to know about credit. They will need to know about insurance. But everybody acts crazy. Just figure it out.
Right.
don't
And
know.
you'll be okay.
Hey, I don't know. Just go out there and just figure it out, and But in each one of these books, you're getting nuggets, like real world. Like, hey, this is what I did with my son. This is what's going on with him. This is how I started investing for him. This is how I started to build his credit. This is what I did with him with insurance. This is what I did with him in real estate. Because you know what? How can you get a kid involved with real estate? See how that quiet came on?
Yeah.
That's why you got to read Wesley Learns About Real Estate because it's going to tell you how did I get a 10-year-old involved in the real estate.
Special guest today, Prince Dykes, accomplished financial expert, author, so much more, and a retired Navy chief. Thank you for your service, by the way, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. Just touch on that real quick before La Molly asks a question about how you were honored at the Denver Nuggets game. Why was that, and what was that about?
You good, Sugar. I get you good.
Come on,
yeah.
man.
The Denver Nuggets, they, what they did was they donated an autographed basketball to me, Nugget basketball, for me to raise money to do these things or whatever too.
Nice.
So then, they came back and said, hey, as aware of what you're doing and to honor you, we want to make you the hero of the game at the Sacramento Kings game. So they brought me out there and, gave me the honor. I mean, it felt like an hour when you got on the front court. Like, goodness, man, how long did they last? But in reality, it's probably like 10, 15 minutes. So definitely shout out to the Denver Nuggets who've been, Kroenke Sports, who've been very supportive with donating the basketball, put me on their stage, and during time out of the middle of the game where you was there, you saw me.
Yeah.
I bet you was like, man, who is this goofy guy?
No, I was like, his jacket is dope. First of all, I was like, I need that jacket where you got that. And I was like, who is this guy? That's cool. And saw you walk to you. And then one of our other coworkers was with you that night. I was like, oh, that's Javon. Okay. There you go. But yeah, that was great. That's a great honor. So shout out to them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm holding this book in my hand. Wesley aprende sobre bienes raíces.
Let's go. Speak it.
What inspired you to make this series of children's books?
Yeah, the first thing was, my son, right? Just coming back, looking at children's financial literacy itself and pretty much doing what you wish someone had done for you. Think about it. If somebody had, I use Apple, I use Microsoft, we had land, all that type of stuff. If you wish, somebody had done it for you. And then when I went back and asked my dad, I had an awesome dad, by the way, retired school teacher and military. He's going to be at the book launch too. He's flying up too. So I asked him, I said, Dad, why you didn't buy us like Nike and stuff like that, all this stuff you was buying us? And he gave me the answer of, son, I didn't know you could do that, And he was like, you got to think about it. Y'all can get on y'all phone and do all this stuff. I would have had to drive way to Atlanta, and I'd have had to have a certain amount of money. Then I don't even know I had to subscribe to the Wall Street Journal, and I got 4 of y'all. He had 4 of us, right? So what pushed me to think was, what if my dad had known?
Yeah.
What if my dad had known and he had somebody like me come in and talk to him and switch that nerve on to make him think, hey, you know what? Let me start doing this for my child. So that's my way of getting back to the world of saying, hey, do something you wish somebody had done for you.
I love that.
Yeah, and to have, as parents, you do so much, right? You work, you cook, you clean, all the things, right? So where is the time? But when you have a book right in front of you that you can sit down at bedtime or whenever and just read it together, and you can learn together. I think this is really cool.
Yeah.
Plus, it's got Terrell Davis in it.
Yes.
Shout out to Terrell Davis. Yes.
Yeah. Definitely shout out to Terrell who came along with that third book and said, hey, man, I love what you're doing. And also, too, those kids you're seeing, those are his kids.
Wow.
The kids are around the corner. The kids who's Wesley's playing with, the kids that's on the back, that's his 3 kids.
That's so cool.
So his kids are in it, too. So he thought it was pretty cool. So, when he called me and said, hey, I want to be on this next book, then... So, of course, let's make it happen.
Give us a little synopsis so the people who are listening, what they can expect in the book.
So when I write books, I always write what I want you to take away. I write my takeaways, then I write a storyline around what I want you to take away.
Got you.
So you have a family, and the family is, it's me, my wife, and son. We're purchasing our first home.
Got it.
So when we're purchasing our first home, it ties back to the first 3 books because I'm teaching him, son, purchasing your first home, it's an investment, right? Because it can grow in equity. It's, you have the investment side. Guess what? In order to purchase that home, they got to check our credit that we learned in the second book. Also, now that we purchased this home, we got to have insurance on it, right?
Oh, so there's you walk them through.
You walking through like he's picking up on, I remember in the first book it's an investment. I know what that is. I have my credit. I got to have insurance. This is what real estate is. So you're walking through a family purchasing their first home, and Wesley's becoming inquisitive, learning these different topics of learning the home process and why. Because he's wondering, Dad, what's wrong with why we're buying a home? We already have a home, but we was renting that home, right? And now he learns the difference between renting and buying because he thinks, why are we getting a new house? There's nothing wrong with this house. So his mother's breaking down to him, hey, this is what we're doing there. So, and then at the end, Wesley becomes very inquisitive, and he wants real estate. Yeah. And his dad comes up with a way to let him own real estate at the end, so he gets something nice there for his birthday. So that's the storyline. That's a good storyline, ain't it?
No, it sounds great.
I'm
I should be a New
captivated.
York Times bestseller.
Right, because as a parent, like you said, if they're learning that, like, the cow jumped over the moon, right? Not all books are like that. Shout out to all the authors that are. But if you're learning about financial literacy, and this is how this works, and when it comes to finances, and when you're an adult, so you're like, oh yeah, I remember reading about that, because we as adults now remember reading books when we were younger.
But that's the thing. I don't expect you to read West Learns to Invest and Turn to Warren Buffett, right? I want to spark the conversation. Yeah. Spark the conversation where people are like, hey, the family sit down and, you know what? This is a good idea. Yeah. How can we do this? Can we employ these tactics for ourselves? So, that was my goal of, sparking the conversation, doing what's important. And also, too, Wesley is an autistic child, right? So it also comes with an animation. Oh, so this book has an animation as well. So for special needs children, they can watch this in a 15-minute video and get the concept of the storyline.
I love that.
Now, it's not Dragon Ball Z. It ain't the best animation.
Right. No.
Like I said, we grass-rooted. It's only 2D animation, because don't be jumping in my comments like, man, you need some more animation. I mean, his head might be just doing this. His arms might be doing, you know what I mean? So don't be in my comments like, this is horrible. You know what I mean? I'm like, hey, if y'all support me even more, then I can get some more animation. I get some more fluid.
That's right.
So, yes.
I love that, man. Okay, so let's let the people know about you having an appearance coming up in the school, and also a book signing and all of that. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So I'm appearing on April 3rd. We're giving away $500. We're giving away the S&P 500. We're giving away $1,000 worth of books. Wow. To the open. It's open to the community. It's called Personal Financial Literacy Night at Cherry Creek School Districts, and I'll be teaching an investment class. This is my our third year doing it. Okay. The school is district wide. So last year we gave away $1,000 worth of stock. We turned 2 kids into shareholders, and guess what? Those kids had the S&P 500. They held on to it. They earned 20%. Right?
Nice.
So now these kids today, that's what I'm going to be doing on the 3rd. Now on the 12th, we're going to be at the Broncos Boys and Girls Club. 5:30. You gonna be there, Sugar?
Yeah, you need me to be there. I'm there. What you need? I wanted the DJ, host it, whatever you need.
So I don't have a sound system. I need a sound system.
Okay, we got somebody in the room that can do that for you.
Yeah, sound system, because they I don't know. Last time I don't want you being there cracking and popping.
No, we ain't doing that. No cracking and popping. No, I'm gonna make sure we got you. We got you on that. If you need some help.
So what we have is we have the 3 books, right? So the kids right now are reading each book, and it's going to be a graduation/launch of the new book. So we're going to be giving away $3,000 of stock during that day, because we're going to stop by Dory Moore Middle School, Montbello Middle School, and elementary, I think it is, middle school or elementary. And then we're going to end it at the Broncos Boys and Girls Club. We're going to have some bouncy houses there. I heard we're going to get some Broncos cheerleaders. We're going to have some face painting, some balloon twisting.
All kind of stuff.
Some pizza,
We're gonna have some food.
So we're gonna have some food there, for the kids. We ain't gonna have no ribs and barbecue and like that. But we're gonna have some pizza there for the kids there. Making it a fun day. SugaBear gonna be there. La Molly, you gonna be there?
Sure.
Y'all gonna be, all these people behind the camera. Y'all gonna be there too, right?
Yeah. We got you.
So definitely we're gonna. It's gonna be a fun day. Quick, fun day to, in April is Financial Literacy Month.
Oh, that's important.
That's why people are seeing me do so much. April is Financial Literacy Month.
Nice.
What is the better way to turn kids into first-time shareholders of stock, and we're giving them financial literacy with it as well.
That's a beautiful thing.